What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man, Cam. It's been a little while, fellas. I missed y'all, fans. I missed y'all. Man, we got a lot to catch up on. Since we last talked, it was the beginning of the NBA Finals. So we're going to talk about the results of the NBA Finals. A lot of things happening within the NFL. We're going to get to that as well. Like we do on most nights, I got a little montage I want to play for you guys. But when we play that, we're going to get back to it and just talk about the sports world. Thank you guys for tuning in once again to the Voice of the Fans podcast.
Am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name is Cameron.
Cam Buford.
Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
You got some good questions today.
I'm a Dolphin fan.
There's always room for improvement.
I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting on.
I got some of this for you.
Goodness. For me?
Yeah, just for you.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter, the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works for the promoter.
Okay. So you are lifting weights currently?
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish right now? Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me?
What do you think about these type of
Aaron, like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show Voice of the Fans
Oh my goodness!
continues to
I'm in
evolve,
tears.
Come on, you were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right?
Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
I'm not caught up to you guys yet. I do
Real surprised at that, Cam.
Hey, come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, this guy.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's the big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
If you haven't told your girlfriend about the show, tell her about the show. If you haven't told your boyfriend about the show, tell him about the show. If you haven't told your cousin, your uncle, your grandfather about the show, let everybody know about the Voice of the Fans podcast.
Hey, man, thanks for making our voice your choice. You know how we do. Yeah.
All right, what's good, fans? Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast, coming to you live from Tukwila, Washington. Actually, I'm at the Great American Casino in Tukwila, Washington, 14040 Interurban Avenue South. They have excellent happy hour specials down here for you guys, excellent drink specials Friday and Saturday nights for you guys. They have random parties and celebrations going on in their banquet room, but they've been fortunate enough to allow me to use their facility and then provide me with some of these good old chicken wings down here as well. So come on down here to the Great American Casino, 14040 Interurban Avenue South in Tukwila, Washington, 98168. Plan your gambling and your late night festivities over here because they got some really good food and they're open, to casinos. So they're open 24 hours. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man, Cam. It's been a while. I know it's been a few weeks, man. I've been in transition. So as some of you guys know, relocated back here to the Northwest, but I'm trying to take care of my parents or my mother anyway. And then I took a vacation, I guess, to Las Vegas for the NBA Summer League, which was pretty interesting. And then we're going to get to my Summer League takeaways as well at some point in the show. But it's nice to connect with you guys, talk to you guys again. Please hit us up in the chat, or you can hit me on Twitter @_Voice of the Fans on Twitter, @_Voice of the Fans on Twitter. I will respond to your messages. I'll even give you a follow if you follow me. I'll follow you back. So let's jump right into it, man. It's like I say, last time we talked, it was right on. I don't think I talked to about the NBA Finals and the results of that. But we're going to get into that as well. But let's start with this NFL. We got the NFL right around the corner. So let's start with some of these NFL topics. Frank Ragnow, 4-year Pro Bowler for the Lions, he decides to retire this year. Takes another hit for the Lions, or the Lions take another hit. Not only do they lose their offensive coordinators, now they lose the guys on the field. They lost a few guys on the field, the center being a key position. Fortunately, he didn't go to another team, but they still lost him. So that's for a run-heavy team, that's a really key position. So we'll see how the next player steps in for that. That's something to keep your eye on this season as well. Is we're going to talk about. I'm going to get to my top things, storylines in NFL this season, and see how they line up, and see if they match up with what you guys are thinking. Please hit us up in the chat, either on YouTube, however you're watching, on YouTube or Twitter, however you're watching. If you're watching on H&B Media TV, shout out to those guys on H&B Media TV. We're going to talk some basketball. If you're watching on Voice of the Fans YouTube page, again, you're at the right spot. We're going to get into it right now. J.K. Dobbins to take a free agency visit with the Broncos. Not sure if he signed with the Broncos, but J.K. Dobbins had one of his better seasons since the initial seasons with the Chargers. And then he's moving on because the Chargers got the rookie. They drafted a rookie, or Marion Hampton, I believe his name is. And then they also got Najee Harris. What do you guys think about the Chargers backfield? I think Najee stinks as an NFL running back. Obviously, he's a talented player, but as an NFL running back, he's probably better suited for Canadian football, in my opinion. I don't think Najee he's going to be a short yardage player in Los Angeles. With their good offensive line, he may be able to get over 4 yards to carry, or get to that 4 yards to carry mark. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line was shabby by no means, because Warren was able to produce there. I don't think Harris was able to produce, and I thought he was in a good situation with the Steelers. I don't think he's going to be able to produce in. I think the rookie is going to get more shine in with the Chargers than Harris will. That's my personal opinion. Bud Dupree signs an extension with the Chargers, which is good. They need to keep their defenders. Stephon Diggs, he was shining in OTAs. Regardless of him and Cardi still together, he was shining. He was putting in the work when they were over there in France. So kudos to him for getting the work in. But Stephon Diggs is going to give some Drake somebody to throw to. So we want to see what Drake may going to be able to do up there when he has a target like Stephon Diggs. Dolphins, Teron Armstead officially retires. The Dolphins cornerback Artie Burns tears his ACL. They were counting on him, and obviously they traded away Jalen Ramsey, so they're real thin in that position group. Another position group they're thin in is the offensive line, especially after Byron Matos was flown to the hospital after being placed in stable condition after injury he suffered. So the Dolphins are already suffering injuries, already losing players. Terrell Armstead retiring is probably a good thing, but the Dolphins, I think their plus minus is 8.5 games this season. I take the minus. Sadly to say, take the minus. Russell Wilson is named the starter in New York for the Giants. That means he's going to be the starter over their rookie. He's going to be the starter, Jameis Winston, excuse me. Is this Russell's last best year to remain a starter in the NFL, or is this his last year altogether? What do you guys think about Russell Wilson and what he can generate? Is he going to get any more, years? Will he sign another contract, or is this Russell Wilson's swan song? Who knows the answer to that? But he's been named the starter in New York. I think he's the best starter quarterback on the roster. And again, Jameis Winston, not saying a whole lot, but I think he's the best. Maxwell Dart, what's the rookie name? Dart. I go with the a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a veteran quarterback, before I go with the rookie. So kudos to Russell for earning that position. And we'll see. Can he finish this? One thing to start the season as a starter. Can he finish the season as a starter? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see that then. Starting the season. We're pretty confident that Shedeur Sanders will not start the season as a Browns QB, right? We're pretty confident in saying that. But how soon will Shedeur Sanders become the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns? That's what I'd like to ask you guys. How soon can he become the starter? Because they have 4 quarterbacks. They have obviously Deshaun Watson, who's not going to play. Joe Flacco, Joe Flacco might be their best chance of winning, but he's not the long-term answer. So because he's not the long-term answer, I think they may lean toward Dylan Gabriel. They may lean toward Shedeur Sanders because they are the future. With that being said, I think Flacco still starts the season as their quarterback. And with the short leash, Flacco's not an injury or not a mistake-prone quarterback, so he's going to play well up into a few games. I think Shedeur. What up, Barry? Thanks for tuning in, big dog. How you doing? I think Shedeur Sanders by week 6 will be the starter in Cleveland. He will be the starter in Cleveland. Again, we already know Joe Flacco's not a long-term goal. Dylan Gabriel might be the odd man out because they drafted him earlier than Shedeur, but I don't know that he's going to have the impact that Shedeur has. Impact with the teammates, impact on the field. I don't know that Dylan Gabriel is going to have that type of impact. So I got Shedeur Sanders starting. So if he's in your fantasy team, if Shedeur in your fantasy team, if he's there late rounds, you might want to pick him up just as an insurance factor. Because, again, I believe he's going to be the starter by week 6, and that still gives you 11 weeks to get something done. Again, I think that would be a good person to pick up late rounds as an insurance guy. Ravens signed, this happened a few weeks ago, Ravens signed Jazeera Alexander, reunites with Lamar Jackson. Is there a leader in the clubhouse for most valuable player? Is it Lamar Jackson? Is it Josh Allen, who won it last year? Is it Patrick Mahomes, who's looking to regain his swagger, regain his confidence from last year, just playing a subpar year, even though they went 15-1 and made it to the Super Bowl. They did have a subpar year, regardless of what anybody wants to say. So Mahomes is going to be itching. So now he has some receivers, Hollywood Brown for a full off season. He has Xavier Worthy for a full off season. Again, you have one of the better tight ends in all of the NFL in Travis Kelce. So you're going to have an opportunity to work with him. I think they lost the Super Bowl. Ain't no doubt about it. We saw what happened last time they lost the Super Bowl. They went to work. They went into the lab and came out stronger, came out a little bit better. So we're going to see a redefined, a re-energized, a reinvigorated Kansas City Chiefs this season. And I still think Patrick Mahomes is by far the best quarterback anybody watching football has seen at any level. If you're in the 5th grade, you're 12 years old, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback you've seen play football. If you're fresh out of college, you're 24 years old. You've seen the Tom Brady era, and other people win Super Bowls in between that. You've seen what Patrick Mahomes done, and you've seen that Patrick Mahomes, and you've seen with your own 2 eyes. If you're freshman or right out of college, you've seen with your own 2 eyes that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback that we've seen. So there's no refuting that. Nobody can refute that. Not many bright people, I tell you, can refute that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback that we've ever seen. It's irrefutable. But he did lose the Super Bowl. So they should be on a not a prove it year, but they should be on a prove it cycle where they're trying to prove their ability to come back. What I have for you, just one moment. Something is driving me crazy. Just one moment, please. My bad, fans. Told you it'd only take a second. Again, what you guys think about the NFL? What you guys think about the storylines heading into this season? I got a bunch of storylines that I'm going to walk through with you guys. I'd like to hear your feedback. Hit me up at Twitter, @_voiceofthefans on Twitter, @_voiceofthefans on Twitter, or hit me up in the chat. However you're watching, we appreciate you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button. I appreciate it if you hit that like button. If you can and you are willing, hit the share button to share the podcast as well. All that, it helps out in the algorithms. So I really appreciate your feedback. What do I got here? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 storylines for you guys to talk about at your Labor Day parties coming up or your holiday parties, whatever you got going. These are storylines heading into this season, 2025-26 season in the NFL. The first storyline, I think, has to be on everybody's list. Can Jalen Daniels duplicate his rookie season? He had a rookie season, for ages. We saw what happened when the last person last season, we saw what happened to the last guy who had put up remarkable rookie numbers. He came back, wasn't so remarkable. Can Jaden Daniels avert the sophomore slump? That's going to be will the Washington Commanders be atop of the NFC East again? Oh, they lost to the eventual Super Bowl winners, but will they be in that competition right where they were last year? We'll see. I mean, the only way up is to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to put that upon them. But where would the Commanders be? Where would they finish the season coming up? And can Jalen Daniels duplicate his rookie year? He has Deebo Samuels. He has a better offensive line. But now he's not sneaking up on nobody. He's not a rookie that nobody was really paying attention to last season. Now they have to pay attention to him because if he duplicates his rookie year, he will be in the MVP conversation. If he duplicates his rookie season, Jaden Daniels will be in the MVP conversation in this 2026 season. I'm looking forward to the NFL rookies. The NFL rookies is kind of fair because there's 4 of these guys that I'm looking for. Ashton Jeanty, can he really change the culture? Can he really change the environment in Las Vegas? Well, let me take that back. He's already changed the environment because he's already given them hope in Las Vegas. But can his presence really change what they're doing on the field? Can he be that big-time running back going for 1,600, 1,800 yards? And I'm not going to ask him to break every ridiculous rookie record, but can he be a big-time running back? Can he average 4.5 yards a carry? I think in college he averaged 6.0 yards a carry. Can he average just 4.5 yards a carry? If he does that, he's going to really help Geno out. If he does that, he's really going to help Pete Carroll in that Raiders defense out. How good is Ashton Jeanty? How good is he going to be? Travis Hunter, how good is he going to be? Can he play both sides of the field? Can he play offense and defense and make an impact on both sides of the ball? That's really going to be curious to see how they utilize Travis Hunter. Does he start on defense and have a package on offense? Does he start on offense and have a package on defense? So what do they do with Travis Hunter? Who knows? It's going to be. We're all eager to see what happens with Travis Hunter. Cam Ward probably has there been a number 1 draft pick in the NFL with less conversation than Cam Ward? Cam Ward is probably taking less press conferences, less interview requests from media around the globe than any number one draft pick ever. And that's not to say that he wasn't deserving of being the number one draft pick. That's just to say that there's so much going on in this NFL draft that the number one draft pick is he's my third option of when I come to NFL rookies. They just tell you there's a lot going on, a lot to look at. A lot to look at, fans. Do you guys agree with me that Cam Ward is flying under the radar? How long will this last? Will this last past week 1, week 2, week 3? Will some of the mistakes he makes, will that fly under the radar because he's playing down there in Tennessee? We'll see. That's a lot to talk about. Probably if he was in, obviously, Dallas, or he played for the Raiders, or he played for the Jets or the Giants, he'd probably get a lot of more publicity. But nonetheless, he's still the number one draft pick of the Tennessee Titans, and nobody's talking about him. Shedeur Sanders, I already talked about it. I am very eager to see how this situation plays out. Yes, he was a 5th-round draft pick. No, he should not logically be competing for the starting role for the Cleveland Browns. But let's look at who the Cleveland Browns have. As I mentioned, they have Joe Flacco. We all know Joe Flacco is not the long-term answer for the Cleveland Browns. We know that. I don't know why the coach let him go. He was their gap filler for the Colts, actually won some games and got him in the playoffs a couple of seasons ago. I'm not sure why they decided to go away from Joe Flacco when he did that. Again, Joe Flacco is not the long-term answer. So I think the Cleveland Browns want to play a young guy, whether it's Shedeur Sanders, whether it's Dylan Gabriel. They want to play a young quarterback because they want to look toward their future. They want to see if one of these guys, again, they have 2 number ones next year. They want to see if these guys can play football, or do they need to invest in drafting another quarterback next year. I really believe that the guy who's going to Shedeur Sanders. I mean, the guy's won at every level, guys. Come on, let's. Take the name out of it. Take his last name out of it. Take his family name out of it. What did Shedeur do as a college quarterback? Well, he didn't have a lot of talent at Jackson State. Okay, but he was able to complete, I think, 62% of his passes by the time he left. By the time he left Colorado, it was up hovering around 70% of his passes he completed. Okay, he didn't have Travis Hunter until last year, so he only had Travis Hunter for 2 years. His numbers did go up when he had better talent, obviously, around him. Well, so that's what we should expect in the NFL. His numbers should go up when he has better talent around him. I think Shedeur Sanders, again, only because we know Flacco's not a long-term answer. He's better than Dylan Gabriel. Tell me what you guys think about Dylan Gabriel. Half of you guys wouldn't even recognize Dylan Gabriel in the lineup. You have Shedeur. Deshaun is obviously hurt and not playing. So he only have to really pass Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco and just get the confidence of the coach. He's a quarterback, fellas. He's already shown that he can lead a team. When he left Jackson State and went to the 1-10 Colorado Buffaloes, I mean, the reason they didn't have a lot of success in Colorado because he tried to make big plays too often. He knew he was a talented player, and he was trying to make a lot of plays, similar to Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams had better talent around him in college than, obviously, Shedeur Sanders had. But Caleb Williams, too, was trying to make big plays all the time, and that's something that Caleb Williams is going to have to shake out of him. Because you just make the easy play. Make the easy play in the NFL. The big plays will come. Just make the easy play. The big plays will come down the line. So that's my second storyline I'm looking at is the NFL rookies. But again, I just mentioned the 4 guys I'm really targeting. Can Russell Wilson beat out the rookie quarterback in New York? Well, he's already before preseason games start, he's already been named a starter. Can Houston rebound? Can the Houston Texans, now that again, I was talking about the quarterback who's had a better rookie season than Jaden Daniels last year, and it was CJ Stroud. But CJ Stroud also had a sophomore slump. And, I think that took away from what he was able to do. So can he and the Houston Texans rebound? They snuck into the playoffs only because the Miami Dolphins stunk. But can CJ Stroud rebound, and can he get this Houston Texans right back into the playoffs? What's happening in Pittsburgh? Now the Pittsburgh they signed Aaron Rodgers. I'm on the record, and I'll tell it to you guys again, July 23, 2025. I do not think the Pittsburgh Steelers make the playoff with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback. I didn't think they were going to make the playoff without Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback, and now with them as a quarterback, I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Why am I wrong? Somebody convince me that I'm wrong. Get in the chat, get on Twitter, text me. Why am I wrong? They got the quarterback from Miami, Jalen Ramsey. I think that Minka Fitzpatrick was a better football player than Jalen Ramsey. So they did Dolphins to take Minka. I just don't expect much for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what's happening in Steelers? The Steelers don't make the playoffs. Somebody got something on it. I got something on it. Can the Detroit Lions rebound after losing their head coach, after losing their their coordinators, after losing the center that retired on them? Can the Detroit Lions rebound? They had a heck of a season last year, ended in a heartbreaking beatdown that they had the San Francisco 49ers. At the end of the season, and then turn around and lost that other game too. Can they rebound? Can they get to the Can they get to the National Football NFC Championship or even Super Bowl? What can they do? I mean, they're playing a tough division with the Packers and the Vikings, but the Lions last year were the cream of the crop. How do they rebound this season? What did the Vikings do with J.J. McCarthy? Their young quarterback. They shipped off Sam Darnold, shipped him to Seattle. That feel like we can run this offense. Kevin McConnell, you got to give him credit. He's ran the offense with a whole bunch of people you don't know. He's ran that offense with what do they call my man? The rocket scientist who actually won a couple games with McCarthy's coaching, with Kevin O'Connell's coaching. What do the Vikings do with J.J. McCarthy? They have a offense on fire. Their defense is coming around. Can J.J. lead this team to the playoffs? Can a rookie lead the team to the playoffs? That's gonna. We're eager to see. We're eager to see something. We're eager to see these games when they kick off in here in about a month. How does Sam Darnold play for the Seahawks? Eager. Oh, my goodness. I want to see how this breaks down, fans. Oh, I want to see how this breaks down. I don't know what the Seahawks are thinking. You go out and pay. You don't want to pay Geno Smith, who's only been getting better under your tutelage. Wearing your uniform, he's only getting better. So you elect not to give Geno the money he was asking for, and you go out and pay Sam Darnold. You go out and pay Sam Darnold, who was the first-round draft pick. Yes, he was the first. Yes, he was the first-round draft pick, number 3 overall, I believe, of the New York Jets. But Sam Darnold's been a journeyman quarterback. He hasn't had any success in the NFL. None. Zero. Zilch. The most famous thing about Sam Darnold did was get caught on tape saying, "I see ghosts." There's a lot of ghosts up here in the Northwest, Sam. You don't know behind which tree your ghost is going to jump out and get you. Not sure what the Seahawks are thinking about. Do they They don't have Derrick Henry in the backfield. They don't have Barry Sanders in the backfield. They don't have Reggie Bush in the backfield. I'm not sure what the Seahawks are thinking. Are they thinking let's focus on the defense side of the ball, and next year we'll get some offense going? I'm curious. If you guys got some answers, hit me up. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up at the in the chat, or hit me up at _ voice of the fans on Twitter. At _ voice of the fans on Twitter. If you want to have this conversation, what the heck are the Seattle Seahawks doing? Lastly, I'm interested in seeing a couple more wide receivers. I want to see what the rookie running backs are going to do. I guess I can add these guys to my rookie watch list. Golden going to the Packers, and the Bucks getting Ibuka out of Egbuka out of Ohio State. I'm interested to see how those two guys. If you play fantasy football, these are also some sleepers for you guys late in the middle rounds. Golden, the receiver from the Green Bay Packers, Ibuka, the receiver from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He can end up being the number one receiver by the end of the season. Not that he's going to take Mike Evans' spot, but he probably going to be getting as many catches as Mike Evans. Couple things for you guys to look at, man. What do you guys think? How do you guys like my list? Do you have a list? Why don't you share your list with me? At _ voice of the fans on Twitter. At _ voice of the fans on Twitter. Fans, please share your list of what you're looking forward to seeing most this season, this NFL season. Send that list to me, and let's chat about it. I'll pull it up, and we can chat about it on during the week. But I'd like to know from you guys, what do you guys think? Are we watching preseason games? Are you listening just for what's happening with your team, who's in or out, who stays healthy for the injuries? Or are you sitting down studying these preseason games? How do you consume NFL football? Because we're right around the corner. Do you just have the football on as background noise while you have a few beers and hang out with the fellas or your ladies or whatever your situation may be? How do you consume Sunday football? Now we do have Monday football, we got Tuesday football, we got Thursday night football. Looks like we're gonna have Friday night football. But how do you particularly enjoy the football? Are you streaming? Are you a streamer? That's another question. Are you a streamer? Are you a cord cutter? Or you still got that good old cable box? You want to make sure that when you click on channel 13, you get channel 13 and not some other channel. How do you consume football, man? Fans, talk to me. Let me know. Well, what I want to talk about now is I want to jump into some of this NBA topics. Again, I haven't talked to you guys in a few weeks. Some of this news is old, but some of this news I think I just wanted to touch base with you guys on, get your feedback on. I'd love to get your feedback. So, fans, if you feel like chiming in and you want to have a back and forth conversation, I'm with it. Hit me up on Twitter at _ voice of the fans on Twitter. Hit me up in the chat. We can have a chat. We can have some dialogue going on. I'm with it. I want to learn from you guys. OKC won the title. If you guys listen to the show, those of you who listen to the show, those of you who are regulars on the show, I hope you guys listened to me back in January and February when I was saying that OKC is going to win. Once they signed Isaiah Hartenstein, once they signed Caruso, it was in the bag. It was in the bag. I called it out then. Again, January or February, I called out then that OKC was going to win the title. Wasn't much concern that they weren't. I said it back then, glasses. Yeah, you've been hiding too, big dog. But OKC wins the title. Shout out to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They won the title, fans, but now after winning the title, how do you compare the OKC Thunder? Statistically, they rank up there with the 96 Chicago Bulls. Do you personally rank them up there with the Chicago Bulls? How do you rank Shea Gilgeous-Alexander his season, SGA his season? How do you rank that season? Statistically, He ranks amongst the best seasons anybody has ever had. Won the All-Star MVP, won the most valuable player, won the MVP of the league, won the Finals MVP, won the NBA Finals. That doesn't happen a whole lot. But how do you rank the season for them? I mean, I don't know. I'd be curious to hear how you rate the season, because they got it done. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams, they scored more. Well, excuse me. They were, what is that? 21 points less than LeBron James and Kyrie in 2016. That's how many points they scored in the finals. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, he joins the crowd with Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, and Lou Alcindor, whoever that guy was, Lou Alcindor. Won a scoring title, an MVP, and the NBA title, all in the same season. Hell of a season for SGA. Scoring title, MVP, and Finals MVP. Lou Alcindor, Shaquille O'Neal, 2000. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in 2025, and Michael Jordan did it 4 times. Scoring title, MVP, Finals MVP, 4 times. Kareem's done it once. Shaq's done it once. SGA done it once. Does SGA season rank among those seasons? In 2000, Shaq was the dominant. He was just dominant. I mean, one of the key highlights of that season is him dunking on, what was it, the dude Mozgov from the New York Knicks, just dunking on him and then pushing him into the crowd. Shaq was just so much more dominant than anybody else. He was obviously bigger, 7 feet, 300 pounds. They couldn't stop him. He was just more dominant in that season. Michael Jordan did it 4 times. So what year one do you want to pick out? Where they won a championship. What year you want to pick out? Where he won the Finals MVP, the title, the scoring title. He was just a killer. He did it 4 different times, guys. 4 different times. Incredible. And then Kareem in 71, they won the final, so Kareem was just a beast. But this is the kind of season that Shai SGA had this year. His numbers put him up into this stratosphere with the captain, Shaq, MJ. To average 30 or more points in the NBA Finals. Shaq did it 3 times. Dwayne Wade did it in 2006. Kobe did it in 2009. Durant did it in 2017. Giannis did it in 2021. Stephen Curry did it in 2022. Nikola Jokic did it in 2003. SGA did it in 2025. Scored 30 points or more in NBA Finals. And this is since 2000. I guess they just didn't include MJ. So, guys, with those numbers, how do you compare his season? Was it just a good season? Does it compare to Shaq's season? Does it compare to MJ's season? How would you guys compare his season? SGA's season, that is. Who finished with the NBA championship and the gold shoes, if you saw that breakdown. How would you compare that season? I mean, somebody tells me all assists aren't the same assists, which, okay, I'll buy that. But are all championships the same championships? They all had to go through the season. They all had to go through win their 16 games in the playoffs to get to that championship. How do you guys rank those? I'm curious. I need to know. I'm eager to know. SGA against the Pacers, 2025. He averaged. Look at this. Okay, look at this, fans. In a playoff series, in a playoff series, SGA versus the Pacers, he averaged 36 points a game. The next closest person was minus 18 points below. Listen to this, guys. LeBron did this in 2009 versus Detroit Pistons. He averaged 32 points a game. The next closest were 15 points below. Michael Jordan, of course, did that. Michael Jordan, of course, did that in 1989. He averaged 39 points a game, and the next closest was 19 points below. Somebody's averaging 21 points. 21 points. Michael Jordan, number 4 on this list, Michael Jordan did this again against the Cleveland Cavaliers in 1988. I think this is the game with the shot over Craig Eglow. Michael Jordan averaged 45 points a game. The next closest was 21 points. Bananas. Did Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's season compare to that season there? I'm just asking questions, guys. I'm giving you guys some good conversation. Just want to get your feedback on this. Is that accurate? Do you agree with that? I got to go one more time. Excuse me. Yo. I don't know why they keep opening the door. I mean, not closing the door. People don't close the door behind them. Okay, let's talk about it, fans. A lot of off-season moves with the NBA free agency was bananas. Again, we missed some of that. So I'm going to try to talk about some of the high points. I'm going to miss some of them, but I'm going to talk about the high points. If you want to talk about a certain move in your NBA team made or a certain signing, hit me up in the chat again, @_voiceofthefans on Twitter, or hit me up in the chat right here. I'm waiting to hear from you guys. Bradley Beal goes to the Clippers. Bradley Beal and Chris Paul goes to the Clippers. What do you guys think? Does that move the needle? Bradley Beal does. Chris Paul is a backup point guard. Did that move the needle? Did that move the needle? He could have went some other places. He could have went to Milwaukee and been the starting point guard, but he comes in as a backup point guard. How do you guys like that? Him and James Harden, they played together before. Kawhi Leonard, I mean, it don't matter who's on his team. I mean, he's gonna go to work the same way he does every day. He's not taking a different route. He's not listening to anybody else. He's not wearing different shoes. He's not wearing different deodorant. He's not using different hair grease. He's gonna do the same exact thing he always does. But does Chris Paul move the needle? They got Chris Paul. They got John Collins. Okay, they got Bradley Beal. What should we expect from the Clippers? I think Bradley Beal can be good for them. I think Bradley Beal could be good for them because they're not going to expect anything more from him but him to score. If he can come in and average 16, 17, 18 points, maybe even 20 points a game, they need that from him. If he can get a couple steals. I do like Norman. I did like Norman. I like continuity. I'm a fan of continuity. So when you keep switching players in and out, moving personnel around, you take away from your continuity. That again, you have to get used to new guys again all the time. I like continuity. I would have kept Powell there if I could have kept him for the same money. And I know Powell's hungry. I know he enjoyed. He had the best season he ever had. I know he's not going to be disappointed in Miami. I assure you of that. But he had a career year with the under Ty Lue with the Clippers. I would have tried to keep him in that same rhythm. But they get Bradley Beal. Now you got Chris Paul come out. Chris Paul should conceivably help that second unit get easier buckets, get shots. I mean, that's what Chris Paul does. I got to see it in action. I don't like it so much on paper, but I believe I like it once it gets in action. The Lakers signed Marcus Smart. If you know me, if you know me at all, you know Marcus Smart was one of my favorite players in the NBA. One of my favorite players in the NBA, and because I like players that go in the lab and work on their game. He came into the league as a defensive player. He's been bounced around, maybe in Memphis or in Boston, some could say. In Boston for sure, more so. He got a little too full of himself. Everybody on the team looked up to him as a captain, as a leader, and he shot more than he actually needed to shoot. But Marcus Smart he's a good teammate. He's going to lay it on the line, and he's going to play defense. He's going to play defense first, and then he's going to score. If you don't score, I'll score. And he's not don't get me wrong, he's not a Vinny Microwave Johnson, but he can get some buckets up. And if it's on a good day, those buckets will drop. But Marcus Smart, I really like Marcus Smart because he improved his game. He worked on his game in Boston. He became, again, when he came into the league, he was not a shooter at all whatsoever. He was able to develop a jumper, and he just kind of got full of himself, I believe. But I like Marcus Smart. Him for the Lakers. If this was 4 years ago, it'd have been the Lakers should be much more excited. But now, if you're just asking him to play defense, okay, because he's going to play the defense that Luka doesn't play. He's going to play the defense that LeBron doesn't play. He's going to play the defense that Austin Reeves doesn't play. So that was a good pickup in that regards. Anthony Simons goes to the Celtics for Drew Holiday. That was kind of a surprising move. I don't think the Celtics. The Celtics want to get rid of some salary, but they're going to have to pay Simons after next year, and I guess that allows them to go younger, if you will. We know they went old and cashed out, went all in to win their championship that they did, but now getting Simons, I think. Okay, Tatum isn't there this year, but do they plan on re-signing Simons after? If he has it, let's just say Simons continues to evolve and Simons average 22 points next year. Do you sign him or do you put Tatum on the blocks? What do you do? I mean, it's not likely that they trade Jason Tatum, but now if you got this young kid, Simons performing, I mean, Simons taking Brown's position. It's gonna be curious. And Anthony Simon's gonna take somebody's position. Okay, he's gonna take somebody position is gonna fall. Somebody's position is gonna fall. There we go. Let's see. Last year he averaged 19 points a game. He's a career high 15 point shooter. But yeah, he's looking to get paid. He's going to get paid. So he did the last 4 years. Here are his numbers. In 21-22, 17 points a game. 22-23, 21 points a game. 23-24, 24 points or 22 points a game. Last year, his only drop back, he scored 19 points a game. So he can get the ball. He can score. And obviously, with Tatum going to be missing part of the season, he's going to fill that void. But what happens when they get him when Tatum comes back? What happens then? Is Simon's going to be that good that a trade bait? Or is he going to take somebody's spot? That's the curious things of what we're going to see during the season. Kevin Durant gets traded to the Rockets in what I thought was a good move. How much pressure is now on KD to win this year? Does that clearly that elevator? I said this, fans. I don't know if you guys remember this still. I already said 2 years ago, not last year, but 2 years ago, I said the Rockets were good enough to be in a six seed just on talent alone. Well, they faltered and didn't make the playoffs that year. Last year, they're number 2 in the Western Conference. The talent was there, fella, like I told you guys. Now they got Kevin Durant. Is more pressure on Kevin Durant or Ime Udoka? Is more pressure on Kevin Durant or Fred VanVleet? Tar Eason. Is more pressure on those other guys on the Rockets because now they have a superstar to play with. They already got the good coaching, and they have to get it done. Going to be interesting. I like the Rockets. I think they're going to be a strong team. They're strong number 2. Strong number 2. Let's see how the season plays out. Kyrie Irving signs with the Rockets. 3 years, 119 deal. On the same vein, it's kind of funny. I was thinking Kyrie signed his extension, but Kyrie, I guess, is closer to coming back than Dame Lillard is, who actually signed a similar deal with the Portland Trailblazers to go back home to Portland. Do you guys like that move? I mean, I guess I like the move. I understand what Dame, you want to go home. You feel that's where you feel best. I get that idea, but they're not winning. Portland ain't winning nothing. Dame, go to. I would like to see Dame in Golden State. At least they have a chance of winning something. Dame, you put Dame with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry, like they have a chance of doing something. But going to Portland, Dame, come on, bro. That's nostalgia 100%, 1,000. Okay. Okay. Houston Rockets guard, Houston Rockets guard Fred VanVleet signed a 2-year deal, $2-year, $50 million to stay with the franchise on a player's option. So Fred VanVleet is back there in Houston. I think Fred VanVleet is good. Some people don't like Fred VanVleet. I think he's all right. Cam Johnson traded for Michael Porter Jr. to the Nuggets. Now the Nuggets get a similar player with 25% of the cost. Good move by the Nuggets. They also signed Snitchy Russell. So D'Angelo Snitchy is going to be running point for the Mavericks since Kyrie is out until Kyrie comes back. Again, Cam Johnson traded for MVP or Michael Porter Jr. The Nuggets they got Bruce Brown back. The Nuggets are trying to position themselves to make another run. They're a pretty good team, but we'll see where they are. They're 4 or 5 in the Western Conference. Western Conference is going to be incredible next season. It's going to be incredible. But, that's where the Nuggets are. The WNBA announces expansion into Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly. $200 million per team, $250 million, per team. $700 million go to the league. The league is not in bad shape, fans. The WNBA is expanding. So that tells you they're not hurting. I talked to NECA yesterday at the Seattle NECA Womanke at the Seattle Storm game. I'm gonna post my interview probably this evening with her, talking about the WNBA and the collective bargaining agreement that they had. If you watched the All-Star game, you saw that they came out wearing their special T-shirts, pay us what they owe us. And so I was asking NECA, do she think that the players' voices were heard? So she's gonna talk about that, and you guys will get a chance to hear that. Check for the interview on Voice of the Fans on YouTube. That's going to be on my Voice of the Fans on YouTube page. Check for that. Fans, I want to thank you again for tuning into the Voice of the Fans podcast. I do this show for you guys, man. I miss you guys over the last few weeks. Missed prepping for the show and then giving you guys the show. I missed that. So thank you guys for those of you who tuned into the show. Again, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Share the show if you like the show that much. If you like our content, share it as well. However you listen to it, wherever you listen to it at. But hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that, man. It would mean a lot to me. Fans, once again, I'm airing the show. I thank you guys for again tuning in. We are airing the show live here at the Great American Casino in Urban in Tukwila, Washington. The address 140. I'm looking for the address. 14040 Interurban Avenue South, Tukwila, Washington. Again, coming down there, they have great happy hour specials. It's also a casino, obviously. They have bonus free play Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Qualified players can receive up to $1,000 in free play. So come on down. They have winners every 2 hours. Come on down. They want you to win. They want you to play. They want you to earn some money. They want you to have some good food. They got good food here, some good vibrations here. So come on down to the Great American Casino, 14040 Interurban Avenue South, and that's in Tukwila, Washington. Again, shout out to Great American Casino for allowing me to record my show from there. Here we go with some history. July 21, 1864. July 22, 1939, Jane Matilda Boland, the first African-American woman judge appointed to judge court over George Court of Domestic Relations in New York City by Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia. Yeah, so that was some years ago. So first American appointed judge was a black woman. July 25, 1943, USS Harmon launches at Bethlehem Steel Company, Four River Shipyard, Quincy, Massachusetts, is named after Leonard Roy Harmon. His mother, Mrs. Nanita Harmon Carroll, attends the launch. July 23, 2000, Tiger Woods became the youngest player to complete a career Grand Slam when he won the British Open at only 24 years old. Incredible. Tiger was a beast. Now we got all kind of golfers doing all kind of things. Tiger was a beast back in the day. Fans, the WNBA All-Star Game was this weekend. It looked like it was a thing from afar. It didn't look like it was so spectacular in the past. How much of the WNBA season are you watching? Are you guys tuning into the WNBA season? I'm up here in Seattle, so I'm covering the Seattle Storm. The Seattle Storm, they have some inconsistencies with them. They had a terrible loss to the Dallas Wings last night. They beat them 3 or 4 games this year, but last night they lost by 20, and they just look like they played down to the level of their competition. That's my complaint against the Seattle Storm. Nonetheless, every team that comes to town, I'm tuning into them, watching them, seeing how they get down. It's pretty interesting. I enjoy women's basketball. The fundamentals are more highlighted in this league than anything else. So, but how much are you guys watching the WNBA, or are you watching WNBA, or does it stink? Is that your opinion? This weekend we had Barrios take on Manny Pacquiao. They fought to a draw. Do you agree with that finish? I agree with the finish for the most part. It was going back and forth. I don't like that Barrios was allowing Pacquiao to stay with him. I don't know that Barrios was, carrying him through the fight. I don't want to go that far, but I just didn't. Barrios, you're the younger guy, got him by 20 years. Knock this dude out. Go ahead and finish him off. Don't play with this guy. But did you see that fight? How did you guys see that fight play out? Do you think Pacquiao now, did he look good enough that you would want to see Pacquiao get in the ring again with Floyd Mayweather? That last fight was almost 10 years ago. Well, it was over 10 years ago because it was May 2015. So it was well over 10 years ago. Do you want to see that fight? I don't know if I want to see that fight. But what do you guys think about the Pacquiao fight with Mario Barrios? Again, El Azteca. I was just kind of surprised that El Azteca didn't take it to his Azteca that night. This is the biggest fight since Crawford Spence. And, before Crawford, we now know the results of Crawford Spence. So that took a lot of shine off of that fight. But going into that fight, that was the biggest fight that we've had in years. Now we get Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, September 13th in Las Vegas. I'm making my reservations this weekend, fans. This is going to be oh my goodness. We're going to have people on to break down the fight. We're going to have my man Steve Cadeno from KO Art of Sports. I hope to get my man Champside on to talk about this fight. We're going to have conversations about this fight leading up to the fight. We're going to have that. Terrence Crawford stepping up 2 weight classes to take on Canelo Alvarez. We know what happened when Canelo Alvarez took on Dimitri Bivol, and he went up 2 steps, and he got his butt pounded and sent right back down to his weight class. Is he going to do the same to Terrence Crawford? Is Terrence Crawford going to get? He's 31-0. Is he going to get an O on his record? For Darren to be great. This fight. Oh my goodness! If you guys watch any amount of boxing whatsoever at all, Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is the biggest fight. I can't say the decade, but we're only 2025. This is the biggest fight again since Crawford Spence 2.5 years ago. It is the biggest fight. So you guys want to tune into this one. Now, there's been a lot of bluster from both sides. Layla Ali says she don't really want to fight Clarissa Shields unless, they put 15 or 20 million on the table. Then she would entertain the thought. Well, Clarissa Shields threw down $15 million on the table over the weekend and said, now, Layla, there's only air and opportunity between you and us. Here's the money you asked for. Here it is now. Let's go get it. Do we want to see Clarissa Shields take on Layla Ali? Do we even want to watch that fight? I mean, a lot of people haven't seen Clarissa Shields do at her best. Layla Ali's a big woman. Not a big fat woman. She's just a big woman. She's 6'2". So she's 6'2". She's thick. She's not a bony 6'2". So she's a thick 6'2". So she got to be 180. I'm not sure Clarissa Shields is a 5'6", 155, 150, something like that. It's a size mismatch. It is. But how good is Clarissa Shields? Can she take advantage of her size, and make Layla Ali's size a disadvantage? I'm not as excited about that fight. I certainly would watch, but I'm not as excited about that fight as Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. But I definitely will watch. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that fight? Who would win that fight? How would that fight shake out? How would that fight break down, in your opinion? Fans, baseball season, not a lot to talk about. I will talk about baseball. What the thing going on in baseball is Shohei is back on the mound. So kudos to Shohei. Ronald Acuna Jr., did you guys see his throw from right field to third base to throw the guy out? And absolutely, go back on Twitter and check that out. Absolutely amazing, incredible stuff that you guys got to see. It rivals the best throw that we've seen with, I think, Dave Parker or Willie Stargell made that same throw It rivals that throw. But oh my God, what a hose he had on. What a hose he had on. Fans, thank you guys for tuning into the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man, Cam. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you got any comments that you want to talk about throughout the week, hit us up at _ voice of the fans on Twitter, at _ voice of the fans on Twitter, formerly or X, formerly Twitter. Hit me up. I'll engage with you. Let me know in the chat how you consume the show, how you watch the show, whether you're watching on HEB Media TV YouTube page or you're watching on the Voice of the Fans YouTube page. Let me know how you watching the show, how you consuming the show. We thank you either way. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you care to, if you enjoy the content. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you in advance. Fans, one of the things I also like to leave the show with is I'd like to leave you guys a quote, something to inspire you guys, motivate you, give you some motivation to get through this week of turmoil that we go through every day. Oh, that's not the quote I had. Here's the quote I had. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for extraordinary destiny. C.S. Lewis. Repeat that for those in the back. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. C.S. Lewis. So don't be afraid of your hardships. Learn what you can through your hardships. You know, because everybody has hills and valleys. Everybody has ups and downs. Nobody's life is 100% perfect. But when you go through your hardships, learn what you can for them, so you know how to take advantage of the situation should you find yourself in that situation again. But I just want to leave that quote to you guys to give you guys some motivation, encouragement to make it through the week. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man, Cam. As always, thank you for making our voice your choice.